Man, it's your girl D. I'm going to be reacting to the legendary himself, Louis Armstrong, and the legendary herself, Barbara. I don't waste any time. Let's just get into it, y'all. Let's just get into it.
Well, hello.
Look who's here.
Dolly. This is Louis.
Hello, Louis.
Dolly. It's so nice to have you back where you belong.
I am so glad to be back.
Are you looking swell?
Thank you, Louis.
Dolly, I can tell.
Does it show?
Dolly, you still glowing, you still growing, you still
Going strong.
I feel the room
Bum,
and the band plays one of our favorite songs.
I remember it
So
it was my favorite.
show some snap fellas, find on empty love. Dolly in the back way again.
Fellas, look at the old girl now, fellas. Dolly, you'll never go away. Dolly, you'll never go away. Dolly, you'll never go away.
So that was the end of the song, you guys. I definitely enjoyed this performance. I never knew that Louis Armstrong and Barbara, I never knew that they collabed like on a performance, because they is like from two totally completely different generations and era itself. So to see them collab here, it was definitely a unique contrast. I feel like more than any contrast that Barbara has ever did before. And it has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do because, you know, she's white and he's black. It's just that sometimes when two completely different voices that are unique can gel so well together like this, it's just beautiful. And it's like, I feel like Louis Armstrong never been the type to like just collab with like no anybody or no anyone. It's like you have to be somebody that's special, not even just necessarily worthy, but just special, where you have made an impact not just in your career but just in the world, just in general. And I feel like back then Barbara was like one of the hottest artists back then and stuff, to the point where I feel like maybe Louis Armstrong probably said like, hey, I want to know what it feels like to do a collab with Barbara. Or Barbara may have thought like, oh man, I wonder what it feels like to do a collab with the legendary Louis Armstrong himself. Because it's like back then, it's like Louis Armstrong just didn't collab with no anybody. And it's like, I feel like Barbara just didn't really collab with no anybody. That's why I feel like most throughout her career, all you see and hear is songs that she's did throughout her career, and those are the songs that she's known for. Maybe she has other songs that she have collab with people, but maybe you wouldn't really hear of the songs, because the songs that she's really known for, it has nothing but her voice on it. So I feel like her doing a collab with Louis Armstrong, I really kind of help. I really feel like kind of help further and extend her career, because I mean, we talking about Louis Armstrong. I mean, you know, like one of the best of his time, his era, his generations, you know, of his generation in the 1940s and stuff like that. I mean, come on, like, don't nobody just get a chance with the Louis Armstrong, with the legendary, you know. So I felt like that was kind of really big for Barbara back in this era and this time, you know. And it's like you don't really see Louis Armstrong doing a lot of collabs with people. So I feel like maybe Barbara was like kind of like one of the first big collabs that he decided to do and stuff like that. And I just love that they really gelled well in this performance. Their voice sounded so good, even though they sing different styles of music and different genres. That just show you that people can do anything that they put their mind to. It's all about how you do it and all about how you go about doing it, you know. And it's like a lot of people don't do this type of style of music anymore, you know, left alone even collab with somebody that doesn't sing the same style as them. And it's like, where do you see that in today's society? You don't see that in today's society today. You rarely see that, you know. So that's why I like doing a lot of old videos, because they're classical. It's what music used to be. It's what music used to feel like. Different genres coming together. It's like you don't see that now. Nowadays, when people put out music, they putting out one genre. You know, they not really collabing with somebody that doesn't not only sound like them, but that doesn't sing their style of music. You know, a lot of people now today's society, they don't want to do it, or they be afraid to do it. And it's like back then, whatever music was, it's just what music was. Whatever music sounded like back then is what music sounded like back then. And it's like back then people didn't really have a lot of instruments to turn to go to. Man, it's your girl D. Sorry you guys, my phone had died. I had to charge my phone. But yeah, like I was saying, like, you know, back then people didn't have like a lot of instruments to really use the way they do now. You know, people had to really use objects back then to really make a sound, you know. Where and when I say sound, meaning like as in like using a bottle to, you know, make it like a saxophone, you know, a xylophone. You know, people had to actually use objects that they used to drink out of, such as maybe a beer bottle or a beer can, to really like create a sound and stuff back then. Versus now today's society, you don't have to do that. You know, people have computers, laptop, instruments, you know, that you could actually play with, you know. And not saying that they didn't have instruments you could play with back then too, but it just, with technology, it's so much advanced more than it was back then. So that's all I wanted to say, you guys. Sorry my phone went dead, but yeah. And with that being said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Turn on my post notifications so you guys don't miss when I post. And if you guys can't comment it, you know the rest. Head over to one of my previous videos. Let me know what you think. And the more you guys share, the more people notice. So make sure you share. And we out. Peace.